All right, number one. Now, there's no number here, so it's not AC factoring. There's no X on 16. There's no GCF, as in the next several others, same way. All you got to do is figure out what two numbers multiply to the end and add or subtract up to the middle. 8 times 2 is 16. 2 minus 8 would give you the negative 6. The bigger one has to be negative, so they would combine to a negative. Number 2, everything here. Let me try to get in closer here. There, that might be better. Number 2, the two numbers that multiply to 2 and add to 3, x plus 2, x plus 1. Now, number 3, don't forget, even though there's not a number in the middle, it's like there's a 1 there. 8 times 9 is 72, and 8 minus 9 would give you that negative 1. So the 8 is positive, the 9 gets the minus. Just one second, guys. I gotta. Yeah. Sorry about that. That's a 6. All right. Now, again, just be careful with your signs. 9 times 3 is 27. You want 3 minus 9 to give you the negative 6. Now, 5, again, there's a 1. This is almost the same thing as number 3. Just now, the bigger number is going to be positive. So that 9 minus 8 gives you a positive 1. Number 6, 3 times 10, 30. 3 minus 10, negative 7. Now, the next couple, the last number is positive, but the middle is negative. A negative times a negative is a positive, and a negative plus a negative is negative. So x minus 2 and x minus 2. And it actually does work. If you type in x minus 2, then the square outside, I checked that, and it would give you credit in Deltamath. That is the same thing. Number 8, 4 times 5 is 20. 4 plus 5 is 9. They're both minuses. Negative 4 plus negative 5 is negative 9. All right. All of those, there was no GCF because there was no number in front of x squared, and there was no x on the 20. So that's when you know it's just the standard trinomial factoring. What two numbers multiply to the end, add up to the middle. Number 9, and then the next handful after that, there's a 3 out front. I can't divide 16 or 5 by 3. This isn't going to just disappear as a GCF. So that's how you know you got to do AC factoring. A, B, C. 3 times 5 is 15. The only way you could multiply to 15 and add to 16 is if you were 15 and 1. They both have to be minuses. The way I have it, and you may have done it the other way around, which would be okay. We divide by 3x for a GCF. There's an x in both. 3 divided by 3 is 1. We won't need it though, because x squared divided by x leaves you with an x. 15 divided by 3 is 5. You have 1 power of x. You factor 1 out. No x left. Now, this basically already matches. This is 1x and 5. This is 1x and 5. But this is plus minus. That's minus plus. So we have to divide. We don't want to change the numbers. Dividing by 1 won't change the value. It'll just switch the negative x to positive x. And it will switch that plus 5 to minus 5. So you pull out the x minus 5s. What's left over is 3x minus 1. Number 6. Again, can't divide 21 by either 2 or 4. So there's no GCF. We got an AC factor. 4 times negative 21 is negative 84. So you would go through, you would look for factors and all that, and then you would find that 16 excuse me, 14 times 6 would give you the 84. One's got to be a negative. The 14 should be the negative because negative 14 plus 6, same thing as 6 minus 14, gives you the negative there. So I'm going to split that up. Bring the others down, split it down the middle. I can divide both 4 and 14 by 2, and there's an x in both. 4 divided by 2 is 2, x squared, take out an x, leaves you with an x. 14 divided by 2, 7. Now, I put the negative 14 first, just so then I'd have plus minus, plus minus. I wouldn't have to worry. Here I can divide by 3. 6 divided by 3, 2, bring the x down. 21 divided by 3, 7. Good. These match. I'll write this over here. We'll take out the 2x minus 7. You got 2x plus 3 left. $11. Same idea. 8 times c is 18. 6 times 3 is 18. We got to multiply to a positive, but combine to a negative. Minus 9 and minus 2. You can put them in either order. Doesn't really matter. Split it down the middle. The GCF here is 3x. 6 divided by 3 is 2. X squared divided by x leaves you with an x. 9 divided by 3 is 3. The x's cancel. Hey, these already match. Just the signs are switched. So I have to divide by negative 1. So that I don't change the 2 just to a positive. And I'll only change the positive 3 to a negative 3. Take the binomial out. You're left with 3x minus 1. $12 again. A times c. 5 times 8 is 40. You need 2 negatives. 10 times 4 is 40. 10 plus 4 is 14. They're both negative. Split it up. Split it down the middle. GCF here is 5x. 5 divided by 5 is 1. We don't need to write the 1 down because x squared over x leaves you with x. 10 divided by 5 is 2. The x's cancel. Now, the only thing we do have to worry about here, this is positive, negative. That's negative, positive. My GCF is 4, but I'll divide by negative 4. Negative 4 divided by negative 4 cancels, leaves you with positive x. 8 divided by negative 4, negative 2. Take the x minus 2's out. You got 5x minus 4 left. Now, these say GCF. It's not a trinomial. Couldn't be dots because that's not a minus sign. So all we got to do, I can divide both the 21 and the 70 by 7. And there is an x in both. Go to the lowest power. 21 divided by 7 is 3. X to the 4th divided by x. 4 minus 1 leaves you with x cubed. 70 divided by 7 is 10. Done. 14, you can divide both 48 and 8 by 8. The lowest power of x is x cubed. 48 divided by 8 is 6. All your x cubes factor out. 8 divided by 8 is 1, but I don't need it because x to the 4th divided by x to the 3rd is x to the 1st. Same idea. This is 8 again. It's almost the same thing, but now the lowest power is over here. 48 divided by 8 is 6. X to the 5th over x to the 4th leaves you with x to the 1st, which is just x. Now, remember, like up here when I divided 8 by 8, I didn't need 1 because I had the x, and 1x is the same thing as x. But here, you're dividing this whole thing basically by itself. There'd be nothing else, so I need the 1 that time. Now, 16, we can divide those both by 5. Easy one, there's no x. 35 divided by 5 is 7. Bring your x squared. 25 divided by 5 is 5. 17, you can divide those both by 5. 5 divided by 5 again, we need the 1. 45 divided by 5 is 9. There was no x in my GCF, so it doesn't change. You just bring it with you. And 18, you divide those both by 3. Put the GCF out front. 5 minus 4x. All right. Now, let's see. Difference of two squares. That's a perfect square. X squared is a perfect square. It says square on it. That's a difference. Remember in math, difference means minus. That's a perfect square. 8x is the square root of the first term, so that has to go first. That one gets a plus, the other gets a minus. Square root of 9 is 3. Now, even though x squared is second, it's done the same way. Just keep your x second. Square root of 1 is 1. Square root of x squared is x. 1 gets a plus, 1 gets a minus. And you can put the minus first, then the plus. It's fine as long as you have one of each. 21, x plus 6, x minus 6. Square root of 9 is 3. Bring the x with you. The square root of x squared is x plus 8. 3x minus 8. $23 dots again. X plus 3. X minus 3. And hopefully dots is getting easier. And the only really mistake I see sometimes is when there's a number and an X. Sometimes people put them in the wrong place. It's whatever's the square to the first term goes first. If that's a number and an X, then you got to have a number and an X in there. If X is second, then it goes second. Anyway, like I said, hopefully that's getting easier. 24, X plus 7, X minus 7. All right. Now, 25. Hey, I can divide those all by 2. Now we got to look, forget about the GCF for just this second here. 26 is 13 times 2. 2 minus 13 will give you that negative 11. Bring the GCF down. That's your answer. Sorry, guys.
I went to 16 short.
Oh, okay. Hey,
Yeah,
thank you.
I saw him last night, late, I was like, she goes, where are you going? I said, I'm going back outside. I said, there's some boxes sitting outside the garage. She thought it was something, because we just sold our house and moved into there.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, that's
on the
something.
corner down there. Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey, take care.
Take care.
And sorry about that. Had a neighbor stop in there with some packages that were accidentally delivered to him. All right. Now 26. We can divide those all by 3. 42 divided by 3 is 14. 39 divided by 3 is 13. 13 times 1 is 13. 13 plus 1 is 14. Bring the 3 down. Oops. Done. Divide those all by 3. 12 times 1 is 12. 12 plus 1 is 13, but they're both negatives. Bring the 3 down. Oh boy. All right. We're getting there. Now, 28. GCF, you can divide those both by 5. Then you look, hey, this is dots. Perfect square, minus sign, perfect square. I'll write the answer over here. 4x plus 3. Oops. 4x minus 3. Had to scrunch that one in, sorry. The GCF on this one is 2. Divide those both by 2. And hey, it's dots again. 2 plus 5x and 2 minus 5x. Bring the 2 over with you. All right. Now, like I said in class, I'm sorry. It's kind of like we're rushing because we kind of are. Everything up to that point on this test, that was algebra. The next handful of questions, this is new. This is something you were never supposed to have done before. but it uses factoring, and we'll use factoring a lot more this year, which is why we've been going over it. But, and I'm sorry, we can't spend a ton more time on it. So in order to simplify a rational, I got to factor dots on top, x plus 7, x minus 7. On the bottom, 7 times 5 is 35. 7 minus 5 is 2. The x plus 7 factors cancel out. Leaves you with that. Done. And you'll do this again next year in pre-calc if you take it. 31. 8 times 2 is 16. 2 minus 8 is negative 6. And then 2 minus 7 will give you the 5. 2 times 7 is 14. The 2's cancel. X minus 8 over x minus 7 is your answer. And again, 5 and 2, they're both negatives. Negative times a negative, positive, negative plus a negative, negative. The bottom's dots. And just to change it up, I'll put the minus first. Minuses cancel, x minus 5's cancel. You're left with x minus 2 over x plus 5. Almost there. Number 33, hey, dots, x plus 7, x minus 7, the bottom, 7 times 3 is 21. 7 minus 3 is positive 4, plus 7's cancel. There we go. Now 34 is a little bit different. It's not dots. Neither of those are perfect squares, on top anyway. It's not a trinomial, but I can divide both 7 and 28 by 7, and there's an x. 7 divided by 7 would be 1. I don't need to write it, because I got x squared divided by x leaves me with x. 28 divided by 7 is 4. Copy the minus sign. And then x's are gone. Bottom's dots, x plus 4, x minus 4. They cancel. 7 over x plus 4. And there we go. Now, like I should have the substitute should say that if you want to start the quiz, you can. If not, well, you can start it either way. You can finish it on Friday. And hopefully that'll answer any questions you had on this. I know I went kind of fast, but you can just pause it for the ones that you need help on. And then once you're done the quiz, which the quiz will be shorter, the corrections should immediately start up, and I can help you once you get to those.